Howdy, I'm Jason Katzenbach, CEO and co-founder of Amazing.com, and I've got a question for you. As a physical products business owner selling on Amazon, what's the number one thing you worry about? If you're like me, it's consistently getting and growing sales. Sales are the lifeblood of your business. It's how you generate revenue and the primary way you get higher rankings on Amazon's coveted search results. But what happens when someone starts passing you up in the search results? Or when an unethical competitor takes you out of those top spots with illegal tactics? I tell you, that gets my heart rate up just thinking about that. I've had both of those things happen to me, and I used to constantly worry about this nonstop. That is, until I learned how to take control of my listing. Can you guess what the key factor is to taking back control of your listing? If you guess paid traffic, you are correct. Specifically, sponsored products on Amazon. By mastering sponsored products, I was able to push my products up the rankings, increase sales velocity and volume, and turn a profit all without losing my shirt. And notice I said master, because most of us have used sponsored ads, sometimes with success, sometimes not. We learn the basics, and some of us spend hours upon hours staring at the data to make sense of it, on top of running all the other aspects of our business. And because we didn't know what we didn't know, and because we just get so friggin' busy doing all those other things, your results are probably mediocre at best. Think about this, and I do this a lot. Think about the things you keep putting off in your business. A lot of times we put off things that are critical to the success of our business. Whether it's because they initially confuse us, bore us, or just outright scare us, we simply avoid it and tell ourselves, we'll get back to that later. The problem is, these things we avoid are the things the super successful put laser focused attention on. For me, early on in my business, it was anything to do with data and math. I put it off because I felt like it didn't make sense. I preferred creating things and hated math. It was frustrating. But what was even more frustrating was that once I started to focus on this data and put systems in place, Amazon went ahead and started changing the rules, and with ever-increasing competition, my results of sponsored ads started to dive bomb, causing some of the products to disappear from the top rankings they held for so long. That is, until I was introduced to someone who quickly became a good friend and a powerful secret weapon in my business regarding sponsored products. She's also the secret weapon of many 7- and 8-figure Amazon sellers. I'm talking about the one and only Cherie Yvette, otherwise affectionately known as the Urban Cowgirl. Cherie helped my business get mastery over sponsored ads, and after 1.5 years, I was finally able to convince her to help you gain mastery over your sponsored ads by teaching you her simple system that turned my ads from barely break even to massively profitable. This is why we'd like to welcome you to this free training series where Cherie, a true Amazon advertising expert, who by the way only manages sponsored ads for 7- and 8-figure businesses, will share with you some of the most important concepts and strategies to make sponsored ads work for your business.
That's right. Thank you, Jason. And thank you for joining us for this free training series. We're going to cover important strategies in this series that will make a huge difference in your sponsored ad campaign performance. It's pretty crazy what's possible when you work with Amazon's algorithm instead of against it, and have a simple system in place that allows you to rapidly grow your business. It's really easy to make mistakes with sponsored ads, and it's even easier to burn through cash because advertising can be expensive. Since the Amazon advertising platform is growing like crazy, more and more people are jumping on, which causes the cost to rise. Most Amazon sellers have the wrong mindset when it comes to running sponsored ads. In this training series, I'm going to cover the key mindsets that will allow you to rapidly grow using Amazon sponsored products. You want to make sure you watch and download all the training we're going to provide you, as it's definitely going to put you ahead of the competition. Now in this first video, we're going to take a look at ad rank, and more specifically, how to get your ads positioned at the top of the search results for the lowest cost. And the only way to get results with Amazon is to drive sales velocity. And you need to secure the top ad positions to achieve this. At the end, we'll also provide you with a step-by-step roadmap that you can download on how to get your ads to cut through the crowd and rank quickly. You definitely are going to want to check this out. The Black Hills Gold Rush, Deadwood, 1876. Like every opportunity in American history, the gold rush attracted thousands of entrepreneurs looking to capitalize. Amazon is no different. We have millions of sellers looking to sell their products on the shopping engine. Today, I'm going to show you how to cut through these crowds and the chaos these crowds create to rank your products at the top of the Amazon search results with paid ads. Here's an example from one of my clients' Business Center reports. This shows you the results we've been able to achieve with 18 months of aggressive advertising. We launched the campaigns in the fall of 2016. They were doing about $665K without advertising at scale. Immediately after advertising at scale, we clocked $1 million a month. And then by the spring of 2017, we hit $1.5 million. And then by the summer, we hit $3 million a month. And as you could see, it stayed pretty steady. The main thing to look at these numbers here is you look from July through the beginning of this year, you can see that we just held really steady in the marketplace. And anytime we dropped, we were able to kind of regain our market share and hold the campaign sales. So the good news here is you can see in June we surpassed $4 million. So even though there was a bit of a lull trying to figure out the next step in the strategy, we've still been able to make major wins and continue to grow the total sales of these products. So the key with Amazon that makes it so unique is both the technology and the customer base is rapidly expanding. And with rapid expansion comes quite a bit of chaos, right? And the only way to win in a market moving at high speed is to make a series of small bets and see what sticks. This is Wild Bill Hickok, a lawless lawman and a notorious gambler. Wild Bill was known on the frontier for being aggressive, fearless, tough, and quick. We're going to take a page from Wild Bill's playbook as we grab these top positions in search. So, why the number one position, first of all? We'll talk about how in a minute, but why number one? Why not number two or number three? Well, the key takeaway here is there's only one sponsored product ad position in mobile. And shoppers place more orders on mobile devices than they do computers. Amazon's mobile shopping has exceeded regular desktop devices as early as 2015. And at this point, you're looking at about 65% of your sales coming from mobile devices. And if you've conceded that number one position to your closest competitor, I mean, heaven forbid you're sitting in position two, letting your competitor take all those mobile sales. But if you're not even in the top positions, then you're missing a big portion of desktop sales. But if you're not in the number one position, you're missing mobile. So how do we take these spots? Well, we're going to bid aggressively to rank our ads in the search results, right? We're going to come in here fast and furious, and we're going to take what's ours. So we're going to start out by looking at the suggested bid range that Amazon provides us with at the keyword level in the Campaign Manager. So if Amazon's suggested bid range is, say, 250 to 445, we're going to go ahead and start our bid slightly above the high range. So I would start probably at about 465 if the high range was at 425. And then from there, I'm going to go and give it a few hours for the search engine to kind of catch up to my adjustments. And then I'm going to manually check Amazon.com, and I'm going to manually check the Amazon app on my mobile phone, and I'm going to see where my ads are ranked. Now it's going to start to get very interesting when you hit the number 3 spot in desktop is when you're starting to make traction. So what I like to do is to increase my bids by about 20 to 40 cents every single time, every couple hours until I rank in the number 1 spot. And then I like to make note of when I hit position 3 and the bid required, and when I hit position 2 and the bid required, and then as I take position 1. And then of course, when I take position 1 in desktop, I confirm that I've also taken it in mobile. So again, just continue to increase your bids incrementally. You don't have to be crazy. You don't want to be jumping up the bids too high and telegraphing these high bids to the whole market. You want to do this very incrementally and check every few hours until you achieve that number 1 position. So now once you secure the number one spot, you're going to want to hold that position for a minimum of 5 days, right? First of all, because sales attribution isn't going to, start to show immediately in the campaign manager. Your ACoS can look pretty high at first, but you need to give the entire system time to balance out. And when I say that, it's because the ad rank formula, the algorithm uses a formula for ad rank, and it looks at your max CPC that you're willing to pay, and then it looks at that compared, kind of multiplied times your sales history, right? And your sales potential in that spot. So when you're looking at sales history against max CPC, obviously your sales history and velocity are going to be considerably stronger as you enter the number one position, especially if you weren't playing in any positions at the top of the search results prior to this strategy, right? So you want to go ahead and allow your ad rank to catch up to what you've done, and you want to see how much sales history you can acquire. And even if the ACoS doesn't look super promising at first, you can always concede these positions later, but you will concede with a much stronger sales history, which is going to be beneficial to your ad campaigns across the board. So here's the main takeaway. If your conversion rate is high, then your average CPC will be lower. So if by moving your advertising position up, you get a higher conversion rate, you're going to see that the average CPC is going to be much lower what you pay in your ad campaigns. So it's kind of a nice cycle. You're going to increase your maximum bid, which is then going to give you higher sales, and then that is going to lower your CPC. So to reiterate, whatever you're bidding is not what you're going to be paying regardless of your sales performance. So in all of my campaigns, I normally end up paying about 30% actual CPC to my max bid. So if I bid $6, I end up paying about $2 for my CPC at the end of this campaign test. So what you want to have here is you're going to discover what the actual CPC costs in the number one position in search. And that's incredibly good information for your overall campaign strategy. Rather than kind of incrementally just bidding where you're comfortable, you can actually go in here and push for market share and see what your actual CPC will be like if you are driving sales velocity. And then you can also see how many orders you're going to secure per day in those positions, and you can start to look at how those orders are going to impact your organic rank and your overall business growth. So in the next video, as we all know, the Amazon marketplace is kind of competitive, and that is my specialty, competitive markets. So I'm going to show you in the next video how to use simple campaign structure to keep these number one positions after you win them. So one little note here that I think is super important, so please, write this one down immediately if you're taking notes, that this video is coming out the same week as Prime Day 2018. So I want to make sure that as you go through this particular strategy, you're going to want to make sure that you don't increase your bids in a last-ditch effort to capture a few more Prime Day sales. Unfortunately, in the middle of the promotion cycle, it's highly likely that you're going to end up paying an inflated CPC price due to the Prime Day chaos, right? So it's better to let the dust settle and let Prime Day pass and then go and roll out this strategy here in a few weeks. Because with advertising, timing is everything. And the best strategy to win rank and capture market share is to purchase your traffic and gain your wins when paid traffic volume and costs are lower, like coming into this nice stretch for summer. This is a great time to test, and this is a great time to get ad rank, and this is a great time to win more of your market. And then you push velocity and you increase your budgets and you increase the entire push as we come into the high shopping season this Christmas time, right? So buy when the market is low and then push when the market is high.
Thank you, Cherie. That was fantastic.
You're welcome, Jason.
As you can probably tell, Cherie is very passionate about the topic of sponsored ads.
Yes, I am very passionate about this topic, especially when I'm able to solve really hard problems in my clients' campaigns and they see such great results. It's exciting to be able to share these strategies with you, so please make sure you download the roadmap that is included with this training so you can take advantage of everything we're providing you.
Yes, please don't forget to download the free roadmap, as this free training series will be going away in a few days, so don't miss out. By entering your email below, not only will you get access to the roadmap, but we'll also be able to send you a reminder when we release the second video in this series.
In the next video, I'm going to show you how to stay ahead of Amazon's constant algorithm changes and the right way to properly structure your campaigns for easy management, saving you a lot of time and money.
We'll see you in the next video.